everybody, it's Margaret. Welcome to another Buy This, Not That Thrift with me, where I go around the thrift store and I show you some things that I either pick up or don't. And if I don't pick it up, then I show you what I should have been looking for instead, or something in the same category that you should be looking for. This is a great way to start expanding your wheelhouse and keeping an eye out for items that maybe you didn't know to look for. I do end up buying this colander because I hadn't seen one before like it, but I didn't include it in my Buy This Not That research. I just got it, and I think I'm pricing it around $35. I didn't see another one like it, so we shall see. If you see things in my cart from the last thrift with me, this is just the second half of that I decided to save and do a little Buy This Not That. There are things here that I still need to learn about, like these trays, like little snack trays for parties. I've been seeing a lot of them lately, so I don't know what the story with that is. I've seen them at garage sales and at the thrift stores lately. So maybe people are just cleaning them out. Now, what have we got over here? I come back to this area in just a minute to look at some of the mugs. I've been a lot pickier about mugs lately. I do enjoy selling them. I like the kind of profit. However, this thrift store, this is Savers, their prices on mugs are kind of high, sometimes as much as $3 or more. And that's a bit more than I want to spend. Okay, so what catches my eye here are these Luminaries. Now, they are paper mache. So I don't, now that one wasn't, but I didn't get it. But I didn't get these paper mache style luminaries because, well, they'll catch fire. But I wanted to talk to you about luminaries. So the first thing I have done here is sort luminary candles by sold and $35 and more. I do have it selected in just a second to show you just all luminary candles. And basically what I'm talking about are things that you could put a tea light in or a votive candle that has got some sort of cutout that when it's lit in a dark room, then it sends, shapes or lights up from the inside, and it's really pretty. So anytime I find things that have that feature, I definitely take a second look at them. As you can see, some of these here are structures, terracotta churches and haunted houses. Those are the ones that are pretty easy to spot. But then there's a party light one here. I actually bought not a party light one, but it was like homemade with some stained glass. I haven't even shown it in a haul video yet because I got it garage selling. That I'm pretty excited about sharing. So as you can see, like these are ones that are a little less common. They look like these rabbits, but they've got those punched holes in it. So when they're lit up, you'd be able to see some cool shapes shining on the walls or whatever. And also, as you can see, the prices are pretty good. I wanted to share, let me scroll down, sorry. So here we had, these are sold, a set of 5 terracotta jack-o'-lantern. They have that shape like the bagged luminaries. They sold for $50-something. And these are ones that are still listed. But I wanted to just keep you aware of that. And I wanted to show you a couple that I've sold. I didn't set these up right. So this is a cool one. I didn't sell this one. But again, this one sold for about $45. Has some cool cutouts. Bath and Body Works has quite a few. Look at this one. Isn't it amazing? So it looks like a sea urchin, right? So that's pretty cool. And this, again, this is a sold as well. I thought I had it all set. Oh, so these are sorted by, I think, ended recently. Let me scroll up. Sorry if this makes you dizzy. Sorry. Look away. All right. So ended recently, 356 sold. And as you can see, there are some wows at $300, $400. And then I would hold off on paying attention to this price right here. I'm going to show you why. I mean, because some of these that are the bagged ones, now that I think about it, some luminaries are put in bags, so maybe those paper mache ones wouldn't have been so bad to pick up. But take a look. These are sold that I sold this on Etsy. And this is a set of 12 Star of David or Star of Bethlehem luminaries, and there were bags that I bought. I don't know, I think they were in a lot of wrapping paper that I got. And I sold the 12 of them for $20, and they were just paper bags. So it was one of those things where I couldn't find any like them. So yeah, I'm going to put a higher price on it. This cool fish I sold for $50. And again, it has that wide mouth. Could put a candle in it. Could put it in the kitchen. Sold for $50. Let's see if I put what I bought it for down here. No. Okay. And then this one is just one I recently sold for $20. And this isn't exactly like the best example of a luminary, because usually I think of cutout shapes. But I guess it kind of would send the presence into relief. So yeah, keep an eye out for luminaries when you're out. Yeah, so now I'm like, oh darn, maybe I should have gotten those, because I forget, like, oh yeah, they're paper. You know, traditionally the luminaries are paper and you put sand in the bottom of them, and so maybe I should have picked up those paper mache ones. After all, you know, in the moment, sometimes your mind's like, wait a minute, I don't know if I should get that. I generally like picking up animated plush, things like that. This one I do end up looking up. This is the UT Longhorn, and it is not selling for that much. Also, it wasn't working, and there wasn't really a way for me to check to see, like, oh, is the battery thing corroded, or because it was still new in the box. So there was a chance that they put batteries in there to test that they could have been corroded in there. So I didn't get it. I like these pumpkins, and now, like, why didn't I get them? I'm trying to think. Were they chipped or something? Because normally that's like right up my alley. So I don't know why I didn't get those, honestly, especially for $1.99. I don't know if it was for the pair of them or for each. Didn't get them. That's the ornament I thought I would get, but then I decided against. It was a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Santa that I decided not to get. It wasn't going to be worth the profit. I do love going through these bags, though. I found some really cool stuff in them. I just took pictures of some really cool eggs, like paper mache style, and like a metal snail. You know, I love the figural items that were all in one bag, so I really got a good deal with that. Let's see what else I'm seeing here. Frequently I'll find like cool craft supplies. Another thing I like to look for here, especially with crafting supplies, are like the wax seal sets. So if you ever see those, it's like, you know, you melt the wax and you stamp the metal seal on it. Those can go for a good profit as well. These were Crocs charms. I thought, you know what, let me take a look at these and see if these are going to be worth anything. And I decided they were not going to be worth getting. But it was just something like, oh, I know a lot of people wear Crocs, and I know they like to put the little fancy charms on them. Maybe it's worth there are some that are worth it, but it's not really something I want to explore personally. So, no, I didn't get those. This was a cool mug, but again, I'm just really trying to be very selective, especially now if the price was right, then sure, I'll get it. Okay, so let's talk salt and pepper shakers. We frequently see them, and I'm always thinking, I don't know, like there's certain ones, like if I see Waterford or something with like a silver lid, like sugar shakers like my grandmother used to collect, those are pretty cool. They were like heavy cut glass. But let's talk about at least one salt and pepper shaker that we can keep our eyes open for, huh? All right. I like to try to have at least one thing that I know I can look for when I'm out, like in different categories. And so when I was searching for salt and pepper shakers, I was like, what's one that I can kind of latch onto and say, okay, if I see this, I know to grab it. And I was surprised that I saw these vintage Tupperware salt and pepper shakers. These are the hourglass ones, and I see many are selling for quite a lot. Now, there are some that are selling for not this much, but when I see especially ones that have sold again and again and again and again at a high price, then I start taking notice. And so because with these white, with the SP, hourglass shape, selling for so much, I thought, okay, that's something easy. If I'm at the thrift store, I'm at a garage sale, I see that, I'll grab it and go. Now, I do see some of these that are not, that they're the clear ones. Let me scroll back up real fast. There are 1,228 solds, which is amazing. Let me sort. I'm going to sort real quick by ended recently, because you'll see there are some that have sold for less. This is where I don't know. Like, why? Like, we saw one of this. Maybe it's just the condition. But still, if somebody could sell it for $80, why sell it for $13? Same thing here. we saw a number of them sold for, $60 or more. So it's definitely, it makes you think, right? You get what you ask for, right? You get the price. Just because, somebody might say, oh, mine's got some condition issues. Maybe the letters are faded a little bit. And that I'm just speculating as to why somebody would not price it higher. I could see that, oh, mine's maybe not in as good condition. I'm not going to sell it for as much. But the thing is, like, you don't know what the buyer's looking for. They might be looking for something that looks a little more used or worn or distressed or whatever. They don't want it looking pristine. So that's the only thing I don't get here. Maybe it's the size. These are 4-inch. These are 6-inch. Maybe it's these super tall ones. But as we saw, there were sale after sale after sale. Maybe y'all can illuminate me on that one as far as why, like say here, these are 53. I mean, maybe it's just condition, and these are 15. 6-inch. Yeah. Yeah. But I have a feeling it's just the price that you put on it, right? So keep that in mind. If nothing else, that's something to keep an eye out for. If I'm at a garage sale and somebody's selling these for $1, then I'm going to probably pick them up. It's something that I will keep my eyes open for. Tupperware, salt and pepper. Well, let's keep looking. What else can we find here? I'm still, like I say, I still try to learn something new in each section. So this is an area where I definitely know that I've got to do a little more research as far as kitchen stuff, kitchenware and pots and pans. I know there's a lot of money to be made. I just have to take the time to learn a little bit more. I mean, I think that's just, we're all trying to expand our knowledge. Those tassels might have been good. I was looking at this bunny. I was like, well, let's see what brand it is. Maybe it's a brand that jumps out at me. It definitely needs a good cleanup, but when I looked at the brand, I was like, no, not really. Those tassels, like curtain pullbacks, might have been, depending on the price, might have been something good to pick up. Let's see what else we are seeing through here. I'm always looking for handmade quilts or anything that's just phenomenal as far as crochet or knit pieces. And we've talked about that in a previous Buy This Not That When You're Thrifting video. Let's see, what am I seeing along here? It was really busy today. I am a wobbly walker. I just tend to wobble when I walk. I don't know what it is. I don't feel like it's happening when I'm doing it, but apparently I'm wearing a GoPro, so I'm like, I just walk that way, I guess. I just walk that way, man. Okay, so this is the bagged toys. I like looking for Lego in this section. Frequently there's bags of Lego. The prices have gone up on them, but a lot of times you can find, cool minifigs and bags of Legos here. Another thing I like to look for in this section are Barbie clothes every now and then, but there are people who come in and that's just what they go for, right away. Sometimes I'll find small games that are kind of like, how do I want to describe? Like the Exploding Kittens, like that type of genre, fun games. Okay, let's take a look here. I'm going to pull down a figure. This is Edna Mode. She's from Incredibles, and I frequently say, look for characters that they're not like the main character. They're not the hero. They're the other characters. So let's take a look at Edna Mode stuff real fast. So here I've just done a search for Edna Mode, and I've put the price as far over here. I've sorted it priced highest to lowest, just to give you an idea. Not everything with Edna Mode sells for crazy money, but there are things that do. So it's good to know, like, oh, okay, she's a character I've seen. She's not Mr. Incredible or anybody else, the main characters, but she's a beloved character. And so here's a Loungefly. I've talked about Loungefly before. Usually Loungefly stuff sells really well. So Loungefly, or Funko Pop of Edna, there are different things with her that are worth picking up. And I'm going to zoom back to the top, but I just wanted to show you, not everything. So ended recently. It's something just to keep your eyes out for, when you see, not just with her, but other characters that are perhaps not the main character of the of the show to keep an eye out for. So yeah. We are going to stay in the stuffed animal section for just a minute because there is money to be made in plush. Generally, I look for things that are unusual. There are certain brands, of course, Squishmallow. There are certain Squishmallow that, it's worth looking at because they can be worth a lot of money depending on the characters and the condition and the size, etc., etc. So, I mean, that's kind of a given. But this was one I was like, what is this? It's like a bear, and then when you turn it inside out, it's an alligator. I thought this was cool. I forget what they're called now. But it didn't end up being worth that much. So I didn't get it, but I was like, oh, I love this. This is awesome. But yeah, no, it wasn't worth Flip Zoo is what it was called. But unfortunately, it was, again, not worth picking up to buy. I leave it in my cart because I go and look it up in a minute. Let's see what else we've got here. But I am going to be talking about a plush that I had not heard of before. And I'm definitely going to keep my eyes out for. Let's see what we've got over here. All you see is shorts because my GoPro is down lower, unfortunately. And then I always come over and look because sometimes they put, especially when they're Pleasant Valley, the American Girl dolls, if they don't say American Girl doll on them, they slip through the fingers of the people sorting at the thrift store in the back because sometimes I'll see American Girl dolls in the case up front, but I have found Pleasant Valley dolls back here because they're not marked American Girl. But it's not Pleasant Valley, it's Pleasant Company. I'm thinking of Sweet Valley High. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a brand of plush that we can keep our eyes open for that I was unfamiliar with up until this point because I want to be able, like I say, to go to this section and say, I am looking for this thing and just start building that list for myself. Like I'm looking for Squishmallow, I'm looking for Pleasant Valley. What else? Let's add to that list. All right, let's take a peek at what else we can look for when we're looking through plush. When I was searching plush stuffed animals and I ended recently, one of the things that popped up was Bunnies by the Bay. I don't know if you've heard of this brand. I had not heard of it before, and so I decided, okay, I'm going to do the search just for Bunnies by the Bay because it was one of the recent solds was this penguin, and I was like, that's a lot for this plush penguin. Cool. Is it just that penguin or is it that brand? So when I did the search again for Bunnies by the Bay, I see, and again, these are ended recently, not high to low. I see this penguin. I see this cute puppy. It also says Hallmark, so perhaps it's something that's sold by the Hallmark store. But pretty much, they're pretty consistent as far as their sale prices. This penguin is pretty popular at around $40. This one kind of looks like a Jellycat brand, if you know that brand. But some of these, like, I would have probably never even looked at. This is Lolly Sprinkle Bucket, Bunnies by the Bay. Like, I would have thought, oh, that's just kind of like kitschy, whatever. But now I'm like, ooh, I need to maybe take a second look at that. So let me show you what Bunnies by the Bay. This is the penguin. This is what the tag looks like. Bunnies by the Bay. And I'm going to go back to Lolly. Does she have a... I want to see if she has a tag, because here it's saying one of a kind, limited edition, one of a kind plush. And I want to see the pictures because I want to see if they have a tag or, yeah, Bunnies by the Bay. It looks like that. This one is a limited edition Bunnies by the Bay. Okay, again, this is not one. See, if I saw that, I would have been like, oh, that's like somebody was selling it at a craft fair or something like that. I would not have given it a second look at all. But now I will. I'll be looking for Bunnies by the Bay this tag or Bunnies by the Bay this tag, limited edition. So yeah, now you can look for it too because they are quite sellable as far as the pricing. I mean, seriously, look at this bunny rabbit one. I would not have looked at that twice with the fake flowers. It's so like 80s, right? So I just wouldn't have even looked at it. So keep that in mind, Bunnies by the Bay. And if you would, drop any kind of brands that you look for when you're looking through stuffed animals or plush. You know, we've got, you know, Jellycat is one I look for. Those are hit or miss as far as sellability. Now we've got Bunnies by the Bay. We know Squishmallows, Pleasant Valley American Girl dolls. What else would you look for? What else? So drop a couple names down in the comments so that we can all start building our repertoire. Is that the right word? Is that the word I'm looking for? We can all start building, you know, it's good to have those names kind of hanging in the back of our mind. Like, ooh, I think I remember reading that or hearing about that. This section is always fun to go through. I have found really cool things. Okay, this is a thing that it's not necessarily a buy this, not that. It's a buy this. It's a Scrabble. It's called Diamond Scrabble. $6. It's like, okay, that's not so bad. It's still new in the box. I'm going to show you the research for that in a second. But another thing I always go through here are the Nerf guns. I don't know Nerf that well, but I know there are some Nerf guns that are worth a lot of money, and so I'm willing to put them in my cart and take a sec, you know, and look them up. Now, if I find a Nerf gun that has been modified, I know it's going to be worth, the chances are higher that it's going to be worth more money. If it's, you know, been modified to look steampunk, or it's gotten some sort of like PVC, people go, whoops, something fell downstairs. People go nuts with, you know, the modifications that they do on Nerf guns, and especially if they're done up for cosplay, then they can really sell for good money. We were at a steampunk convention, and there was a guy that had, that's what he did. He modified Nerf guns and sold them. I mean, he had them all painted with the gears and all the stuff on them, and he sold them for so much money. I'm just like, wow, if I ever got into that, there's money to be made there. So I didn't go look them up here, but I'm just throwing that out there for you. Let's see what else we've got here. Yeah, none of these Nerf ended up being worth. I think there's like the one I know is like Star-Lord's Nerf gun from Guardians of the Galaxy. I think we actually have one of those floating around the house somewhere. But usually my kids can tell me when they're with me, but they just weren't with me this time. All right, let's take a look at this Scrabble game. So here are some of these. They're sold. Diamond Scrabble. This is one sold for $28, still new. I mean, I bought mine for $6. Here's one, $44.99, and it says best offer accepted, but there's another for $44. Some of them, you know, the prices are up and down. $30. But still, I mean, $6 is more than I generally like to spend on something that I'll sell for $30, but it's still a really good profit. So I don't have a problem with that. Initially, I thought, you know what? If I get it and we keep it for us, great. If I get it to sell, great. But then there are quite a few that are, you know, in that 40 plus range. So I don't do auctions, so I don't even pay attention to the ones that say bid on them. I don't pay attention to that at all. So 1740, I mean, that to me is like somebody who their business model is just to turn over inventory. And cool, that's what they want to do. That's not what I'm doing though. Cool. Okay, so chances are I'll probably put mine up on the higher end. I'm going to zoom to the top. And let's take off sold. Let's see how many are up for sale still. So 41 sold, 138 that are still up for sale. I want to select new off to the side because mine is new in box. Here we go. So there's 20 that are new. So that's kind of where I'm looking at my competition. So, you know, 40, $50, 75 on that one. So I might end up listing mine for the $50 range, maybe more, because there's quite a few that are up higher, you know, and maybe somebody's getting it for a friend for a gift and they don't want to buy a used one. And so they'll come, you know, there's less competition there in the new category, but the prices are better. Well, that cut off, didn't it? Anyway, so keep an eye out for, you know, new and sealed games. Just, they're quick and easy to look up. The barcode, if you have, look, that's a Mickey Gilly. It's a Mickey Gilly autographed hat. So I got it. Didn't even look at, well, I did look it up. There is not one up there. So I definitely got that. My grandmother used to go to Gilly's. I actually have a Gilly's bar mirror. She had so much stuff. She actually got Ashes, if you guys know what Gilly's is. It's a honky-tonk that Urban Cowboy was filmed at. And my grandmother frequented it back in the day. And when it burned down, she has like, and I still have now, all the newspaper clippings. She went up there and got ashes from it. So I have a bag of ashes from when Gillies burned down. I have a lot of Gillies memorabilia because my grandmother, she went there. She liked to dance, and she went there to the honky tonk. I don't think she ever rode the bull, though. Yeah. Fun story. Okay. So here, you know, I like going through the purses and bags and stuff. Again, always looking for Loungefly, you know, Mario. This was, I actually did get this little wallet. I think it was like $3 or something, but I was like, this is a pretty cool, you know, Celtic style little wallet, and that I felt pretty good about. All right, you guys, go down there and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you don't follow me on Instagram and Facebook, do that, because I share lots of information and fun things as well. And go down, leave me a comment, and let me know something that you are out there looking for. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks so much for hanging out. Bye.